Hello guys, welcome to Music Arena with Akin'Made. I'm so excited to bring this show to you. It promises to be an amazing and a very insightful one because you know what? We're going to be shaking lots of tables. We're going to be learning lots of lessons, and I'm not going to be doing this alone. I'm going to be bringing lots of amazing and resourceful gospel artists and kingdom-minded people in the music society. We just want to ensure that everyone out there, gets to be more properly exposed and learned about their craft, about the industry, about the ministry, and all of that. It's going to be a very amazing ride. I can't wait to share all of the goodness that we have with you. Do me a favor by liking this video, commenting, and please subscribing. All right, it doesn't cost you anything, right? Just hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. God bless you. Today I have a very big fish here, and we're going to be discussing a very, very important topic that I've tagged honor and honorarium matters in the music ministry. She's not the person, but the amazing Fola. All right, okay, you're welcome, Ma.
Thank you very much.
On the show Music Arena with Akin'Made.
Thank you.
Thank you for all
so
that
good
you
to
do,
be here.
In the music community, and I'm very much convinced that we'll have an amazing time today, and that everyone listening and watching will be blessed.
By
all right, so
God's
let's
grace.
just get into it.
Okay.
The whole time I've always thought your number as Eden Music, because when I first met you, that was what J. Clef then
Okay.
told me, Eden Music, and it has never occurred to me to ask you, how that name came up. So I think it would be a good time also for people who may be watching and who just hear Fola Eden. Maybe
Okay.
you could just, tell us briefly about yourself and about Eden.
Okay. My name is Adefolawe Eden Ayanshina. And
Oh, Eden is actually your name.
my name, yes.
Oh, like the Guardian of Eden.
Yes.
Were you there?
Yes, I live there
Great.
because, my name means pleasure, the good place. And so I live in a good place by God's grace. And so, like I said, I'm a co-creator, I'm a mother, I'm an author, a songwriter, and every good thing. Yeah. So that name actually came from a friend. Yes. I was everywhere, and it's only Sister Fola. And this friend that day said, there is something about this Eden that we should join to your name. And then we merged the two names, and the name Fola Eden. So before, it used to be just Sister Fola when they are introduced. But then after that conversation, I became Fola Eden.
Oh.
And that friend is Apostle Bamilo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, even me, I never knew that Eden was actually
My name. Yes.
I think it's
my name.
It's glad that it's coming up.
Thank
so
you.
Guys, Eden is part of our name. It's not just like a word.
We picked it from. No.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'd also like you to just very briefly tell us about your music ministry. I mean, I started the things that you did to get to where you currently are. And the journey so far. I mean, a lot of people, because I think that a lot of music ministers just, we only see most of them when they evolve. And
Yes.
then there are so many people that want to,
No.
follow and imitate.
Yes.
But, it would be doing them some harm if you don't actually know the process and all of that. So
Yes.
I want you to tell us about the lows and the highs and, and all of that.
Okay.
How did Fola Eden become Fola Eden?
Okay. I started singing. Okay. I am a third generation music artist, as it were. My mom's family are all singers. We have choreographers, dancers that are professors. That's what I mean.
Wow.
And my dad's family, my paternal side too, are singers. And in my family, I remember growing up a bottle of Coke can start a party. You know, somebody can just start doing something and then we start singing and the party starts. And so I started singing that I know myself. I started singing at 5.
Oh.
Yes, in my primary school, Sinclair's primary school, Oshobo. And I remember very well that it was a Christmas show. And then for the first time I was coming out, the very popular BCOS came to air the production, the Christmas Carol. And so that was how I started as a child. And then my first, here in Oshobo, yes, and then my first choir, my first being part of a choir, I was 8, and the smallest, the shortest in All Saints Anglican Church, Balogwaguru, English choir. So my robe was always flowing. So I was the one, I was always the first person in front, and then the elders will be trying to tiptoe so they don't match my gown. And then, you know, I went to school, I went to the university. I always knew there was a calling of God upon my life. But you know, because I was brought up in the Orthodox, I couldn't really figure it out. I couldn't place my fingers on, okay, this is how it will be. So when I got to the uni, you know, people will come, prophets, pastors will come to single me out of a meeting and say, there is something about this, there is something about. And so I started seeking God's face as to what is going to happen. And then by God's privilege, I met the people. I cannot write my story in life without mentioning their names. The Paimos, Reverend Lere and Pastor Yemi Paimo. They were the big fishes in Oshobo then. And so they became my mentor. And so I started singing professionally in 2001.
Wow.
Yes.
About 23 years ago.
Yes, 2001. And then we had a show at the then Rasco Hall.
Okay.
Around Old Garage, and it was the hall was packed full. And that was how I started knowing really that this is not a play. It's not that we are playing. It is the big deal. And so I didn't hear, my daughter, you will have to sing. No, I just started channeling those words upon my life and the prophecies, and I knew that something would come out of it. Yes.
Wow. That's quite a lot. I mean, so detailed, and the fact that you said that, you know, you were that young when you were already serving in the choir.
Yes.
And how long you've been singing professionally.
Yes.
I mean, no wonder it's always amazing and it's always different when we sing. And you definitely did not study music, did you?
No, not at all. But I've had a lot of classes.
Okay.
And I remember very well that from 2017 till now, I have spent more than ₦1 million on classes.
Wow.
Yes.
More than ₦1 million on classes.
Yes. And it's not that I have the 1 million in the bank. When the classes come, I pay and we move forward. Yes.
I'm dumbfounded. I mean, I don't think I'll listen to that now. We'll get to that later. Let's get straight to why we're here and just get the ball rolling.
Okay.
I want us to talk about honor and honorarium. It's I like to always talk about what people do not naturally want to talk about for whatever reasons. I just always like it when we're clear and a lot of other persons have basic understanding on things that affect, you know, the music society.
Okay.
Alright, so I know a lot of people try to avoid this, but I'm trusting that, you know, God will give us all of the clarity and wisdom that we need, and
Yes.
especially because you are a professional and you are also on the forefront in the music society around here and generally at large. So firstly, I'd like to ask you, what your take about honor and honorarium is about, as it is involved in the Christian community.
Okay. Like I want to say, we should start by defining what honor and honorarium is. I'm very sure honorarium is like a little money you're giving to somebody for rendering a service. But it is not a stipulated fee.
Okay.
While honor to me is carrying somebody or something in a manner that will make the person or the something feel good.
Regard for self-esteem.
Yes, yes. And so I've always said this, that in music ministry, honor comes before rarium. I don't know if there is maybe rarium has a different meaning, but honor comes, it is honorarium. I have witnessed some churches where they will honor you so much that, churches and ministries that will honor you so much that you won't even feel like taking anything from them when they are giving you the honorarium. And before we go into this, honorarium is not what we give everybody. Honorarium is only for people that do not charge. So if someone has charged you, you are paying for the services they have rendered, or yes, you are paying for the services the person is rendering or will render or has rendered. But honorarium is a fee, something small or big you are giving to somebody that has not charged you.
That means it's your discretion to determine the amount.
Honorarium, yes.
Okay.
So, but if a music minister or a pastor has charged you, then that is a charge. Okay, and so for honorarium can come in different ways, because I know some of the A-listers in Nigeria now that does not charge.
Okay.
They will not charge you, but what you will eventually spend will be much more than if they had charged you. Yes. So because they won't charge you, they'll send a rider. They'll send what you should do concerning their hospitality. They'll send the kind of hotel they want to stay in. They'll send the kind of microphones you should use, the kind of speakers they are expecting to use, the kind of gadgets you should have. So,
and probably even logistics, you have to fly
of course,
bring them down.
Of course. And that logistics alone can be neck breaking, you know. So that is, they are not charging you, but you are honoring.
Okay.
And after everything they have written that you have, by grace, you've been able to meet those demands, you will still give them a honorarium. So it is unto them to now say, okay, no, because of the honor we have received, I remember very well a story of Nathaniel Bassi returning a honorarium to the church, that this honor is too much, so we are fine, thank you. And I heard a story of him going to Ghana for a program, and the person disappeared, just abandoned them, and they had to start calling places. So honorarium is different from charging or charges. So we should really know that before we go into. And so honor may not be money, may not come in form of money. Have you ever thought about that?
Yes. Repeat, please.
Okay. Because some people are doing anything they are doing for you. They are rendering that services or that service to you by relationship, because of the relationship you have with them. And I always tell people, in our parlance in Nigeria that God bless you works will never end.
God bless your works will never end.
Yes. Because there are some people I will minister for that I will never have to charge them or expect an honorarium because of the relationship we have. But it is very important for us to know that even if you are that person's sibling, you see that kind of relationship, you should still honor them. And if it is not that you are giving them money, you should do a good packaging. Like, by God's privilege, I'm not blowing my horns. The people that ministers for us at Shabak knows that.
I was going to get there.
No. Okay.
I was going to get
Thank
there.
you.
And in fact, that's actually my next question. So
okay.
I would like to ask you so that it can, be well stated and then you can answer in detail.
Okay.
This is very enlightening and eye-opening, even for me.
Okay.
I picked quite a number of things that you have said.
Okay.
And I'm really glad that we're having a time like this because I believe that everyone listening and everyone watching are being blessed. It's important that we know these things so that we can also apply them in our day-to-day activities and in our communications with proposed hosts or as a guest and all of that. So I was going to ask you that I know that you host a concert.
Yes.
At Shabak.
Yes.
And I know that you bring artists from different parts of the world.
Yes.
And pastors. I also know that you have a number of team members that render their service, I think, as volunteers in the workforce.
Yes.
Okay. And I know that the concert is also a big concert.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you that I'd like to know, how do you honor people that come for Shabak? I mean, I put those people in 3 categories.
Okay.
The artist, the workforce, and then your own team members. Okay,
I'll start with the music team. By God's privilege, I have this standing rule and discipline not to change musicians like people do.
Okay.
So eventually, my team members, the musicians now, are not instrumentalists. They have become my brothers.
Okay.
They have become my family members. And so, I don't charge too. I don't charge. But I'll answer the questions interwovenly like you asked the question. Okay, I don't charge too, but there are plenty.
I want us to really get this thing straight.
Okay.
So you said that they have become
my brothers.
Members,
yes.
Become your brothers. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm asking because there's probably someone out there who would like their musicians.
I'm coming there.
To become their family members.
Yeah.
So are there things that you've done before?
Yes. I'm coming there. Okay, and the reason they have become my family members is that the code for honor that we are talking about is today. I have not publicly, except for the people that are in my class, access to Eden. They all know this code. The code for honor, let everyone hear today, is involvement.
Involvement.
Yes. They don't, yes, involvement. They don't just play for me. I'm involved in their family matters. I'm involved in their school education matters. I'm involved in their marital matters. I'm involved in almost everything.
You're part of their life.
I'm a part of their lives. And especially when we travel out of Osogbo, when we travel out of Osun State, we have time. There is a time on those journeys that I call each person to a meeting where I ask them, what time is it now? Not the time on your wristwatch. How far are you? How are you growing? And I have taught them to be open enough that they will be able to receive help. Help, not monetarily most times, but help by, okay, this is where I'm going. Okay, I know somebody that can help. And I put a call through. This is connections, network. Yes. So every time they see me, they don't, every time we go to work, they don't really expect that, okay, now she must give me 50,000 because I just played Gogo for her. They know that there are other incentives that are beyond money. You get? So they are following that path that, no, be a user. And I want to use this opportunity to beg us, please, no matter how it is with you, never ever be a user. It's not wise. The more you use them, the more they detach from you. Yes. And you won't even know. And someday you will see that, okay, on this day, we used to gather to party. Maybe it's on a Christmas day, but they are not here. It is because you use them all through the year. And they feel, let's switch. And, you know, we should just always try to better our mentality. These people have blood and water running in their system too. So please, whatever you wouldn't want anybody to do to you, don't do it to your team members. And so for guest artists and pastors, for Shabak, I've always told everybody around me that my mom doesn't know how to go to any orioke. The only thing she knows is rosary, and it is working, actually, because she had prayed for us to a point where, till this morning, she told us, anytime you remember you have a mother, just say amen. But because I know she can't run her, so I take Shabbat preparations from January. So this January, we start calling our guest artists and we start buying things.
Wow.
And we start paying our guest artists in July.
Wow.
Yeah, that is what we do. So when it is
Shabbat is in when again? November?
In November, yes.
Wow.
So when it is Shabbat, we are just waiting for the dates. We are waiting for the day to come. We are not burdened with, this one is still remaining. And you will now have hypertension because of the work God has sent you. And that means that every you go, you have to work, you have to save, and you have to plan ahead. The Bible says that God is a God of order. He doesn't do wishy-washy things. And because it is provision, there is providence before your vision. So he pays for what the assignment he has given you. He already paid your guest artists. But it now depends on you to plan to bring what he has paid to fruition. So you work, out of your salary, you are having a portion that you are setting aside towards the event. You are saving towards the event, and you are buying ahead of time. So if you have an event in November, you are not just planning in August. That makes you like an unserious person. You are not serious. Yes, I'm saying it. I tell you, you are not serious. Yes. You should plan ahead, well ahead of time. And that's when you will have ease. You can't just be praying for, oh God, ease in September when your event is in November.
And you've known that it's in November.
That is, sir, apostle, evangelist, high chief, whatever it cannot work.
That one is.
God is a miracle worker. He is not a magician.
Thank you very much, Ma. Sounds very insightful. I will ask you two things.
Okay.
Firstly, you said that you do not charge, and you also made mention of, you didn't make mention, but you also said that there are some persons out there that do not charge.
Yes.
Okay, so
How
I like to know how I also think that there's a thin line between dishonor and relationship.
Let me tell you, I know where you're going.
So how do you, and I really do not want, as much as I want you to answer as Fola, I want to also see if you can help young persons out there who, some of them, whether do not charge or they do not have, the truth is, I don't think people invite artists who are not popular. So it's so for someone who really is passionate about making a stand in the music industry, and as a minister now,
yes.
All right, I said industry because of the commercial part, putting their songs out there, developing a structure for themselves, and this is something that they're really talented at doing. How do they create the balance in making some funds for themselves, sustaining their music ministry, and making this passion? Even God's word says that a man's gift, so how? I would like you to please.
Two answers, A and B. The first thing is that I will advise every music minister, pastor, whoever God has called to work. Please, work. And if you are not working the secular work, like you are in the government parastatal or something, have a business that you're doing. You can build online classes, online courses, and you can write books and put them on Amazon. Have something you are selling.
Okay.
Work. Don't wait till the ministration and events come. And so that is part A. Part B, what I do. When we are invited for a ministration, I will let the host know that I'll be coming with 8 people. I move with 8 people. At least 6. But normally 8 to 12 people. Okay, and then we'll be coming from Oshogbo to Lagos. And, logistics, transportation will have to come in. And so there is no way I won't be paid, despite that I did not charge. Because wise hosts will know that from Oshogbo to Lagos now,
that is where I'm going. So how do you differentiate between wise hosts and unwise hosts?
Sir,
we've heard stories of people who were doing this,
sir,
and then they travel and they're stranded,
sir,
or they end up having to even take out of their own pockets or reach out to persons out there to borrow and to take. How do we settle this issue?
See, the first thing I'll say is that you don't honor every invitation.
Okay.
No matter how big it is. Yes.
You don't honor every invitation.
Yes, especially when God warns you not to go. Not because, because of the spirituality, the spiritual aspect of that you can't put your head everywhere.
So are you saying that when
and
they
also
get an invitation now,
yes,
it's very important to
pray, look at, to pray first, yes, to pray,
to ask.
You have to ask,
regardless of whether you're an A-list artist or not.
In November 2023, I turned down 17 invitations.
17.
Yes, in November alone, because God said don't go, or because the dates have clashed, or because I need to rest. Yes, you can't honor every invitation. You can't be. You will wear out. And then in our environment, most people are users. The same people that say, come here, come here, come here, come here. They are jumping on every altar. Will be the same persons that will say, no, she's repeating the same songs. She's not. Yes, they will use you and dump you. So you need to be refreshed. Yes, 1. 2, you have to ask questions. And main issue we have in our generation, we don't ask questions. Even if the invitation is from Ghana, there is somebody you know in Ghana that can know somebody. You are everybody in this life. You are 4 persons away to your answers.
Okay.
To your answered prayer.
4 persons away.
Yes, to where you are going in life. And so it takes you to ask questions. And you don't have to call anybody to ask questions in media age, because I'm always saying to people, your social media is your CV. Type, go on that your host's social media and see. You will see. You will know if the person is a wise host or not a wise host. Then you will see invitations of people they have invited before your invitation, and you can easily call such person, hello, but we should copy what is right. See what Koza does. See what House on the Rock does. No matter, your bulk will not or may not be my bulk.
Yeah, that's true.
If my bulk is 6 bags of rice, somebody else's bulk may be 6 Congos of rice. So your kind of honor may not be my kind of honor, but do everything you can to honor people. Honor is different from rarium, and I think the rarium will be the money, the monetary aspect of honorarium. But when you honor, some people will say, Mama, honor wa bolara. As in the way you receive people alone. Somebody that is just coming to Osogbo for the first time for your meeting, you have set people around Abere where they will receive him with dancing, with honor. You know how we receive Asweki, You receive, the person will be like, okay, so what is happening? Then you set a table before the person.
In the presence of
even his friends or her friends, and the person will be like, okay, where am I going to start? The meat, the amala, or the begiri, or the where? And then they are staying in a good hotel, and then their movement from their hotel to the meeting to your venue is not one nonsense movement. You are protocoling them well, as in the protocols are on set. You are not saying because I know you see Sister Fola and she's coming from Osogbo now. No, you have a car, you are fueled, that is coming behind.
an entourage.
Yes, and then they get to the venue. There are greeters, there are protocols everywhere. Thank you for coming. We love you. That honor enough.
Yeah.
That honor alone, is enough to make that person. There are some kind of gifts you give people, pastors especially. They will pray for you from here. And there are some gifts you give them, they will pray for you. So please.
Okay.
I want to beg us, I want to admonish that we honor people even beyond the honorarium. Thank you
Very, very
so much
clear.
for having
very,
me.
Very clear. So maybe I'll just ask a 2-in-1 question.
Okay.
So that we can just wrap it up.
Okay.
So, but do you think that, everyone have their styles or has their styles rather, and it's okay if someone says that, okay, you're inviting me to your church, this is how much I will take. Or do you think that's fine? Or do you think that for what we do or for what you do, it's not in our purview to state amounts or to be particular about amounts? That's one. Then secondly, so that you can just answer both together. I know of churches where they actually do have the physical and financial capacity to take care of artists, but they never get to feature their own in-house members. What I mean is, like, you have someone in your church who sings, or someone who is quite active, and
they would prefer to bring somebody
in the choir. So they would not, feature them at their conferences, at their concerts, and all of that. And even if they do, they would just, but then they would bring people from, outside of town, the A-rated artists, and give them all of that. Do you think that pastors too should learn or relearn or know, or do you think that should be, or don't you think that there's a bridge between artists and clergies and all of that needs to be mended? Probably we need to sit down at some point and something and talk about some of the things that artists face or expect from churches, and maybe the pastors also need to say some of the things that they expect, or I think all of those things need to be, what's your take on that?
The first question, the A part.
Yes, ma'am, that's it.
If you want to charge. If you are not sent to charge, don't charge. God will take care of you.
So it's fine to say, okay, so you.
But even if you are charging and you are not charging, work.
Whether you're charging
or you are not charging, please work. Okay, that's the A part. Then the B part, yes, you already answered your question. Pastors should actually learn, unlearn, and relearn. Because, what you don't know, what you don't have, you can't give. So pastors should also ask questions. You can't envy somebody from afar and feel, oh, okay, so I will invite people and, you do wishy-washy. You are not replicating the same thing the person you saw is doing. So I will advise that pastors should please help music ministers, evangelists, and the people in your church. But all the same, my own stand especially is that results silence nonsense.
Results silence nonsense.
Yes. So keep working on yourself, keep adding value, and keep doing your thing from where you are. And I'll use myself as an example. I remember very well, there was a time in my church, she doesn't know how to sing. And so I started sharpening myself. And so I started getting invitations by God's grace. And my organs then saw me. I was like, no.
Is it not the same?
This is not you.
How now?
And so at a time when they would start using me in church, I started brewing envy again because they were using only me.
Okay.
So keep adding value. Let your pastor see you somewhere outside and feel guilty. Like, so we've been wasting this tangible talent and gift that we have. So keep working on yourself, please. Results.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Read a whole book from all of this.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Thank you.
But for me, I didn't really get into, the questions. But I think that, at times we just have things written out and then God will just have us, do it another way. So I think that it was really still very impactful.
Thank you.
But I'm hoping that we can have a B part
okay.
of this. I'm sure you like to watch that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And to Fola Eden.
Thank you so much.
Eden is also part of a name.
Yes.
It's not a nick. It's not a word that was just taken out. It's been nice having you. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Music Arena. It's our prayer that all of your goals and aspirations will come to pass and continually be a source of blessing to the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you for staying with us here on today's episode, on today's session of Music Arena with Akin'Made. I'll see you again next month. Please do not forget to share this video and hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. My name remains Akin'Made. Thank you. I'll take that in. All right, thank you, man. So just before we go, I'd like to know, do you have any events or training upcoming that you would like people to know about and probably be a part of? Okay, thank you very much. For all Saturdays in February 2024, we'll be having a class, how to understand organizing a good concert. Okay. Concerts are different from concerts. So how to organize a good concert. Yes, it's a class that will run every Saturday in the month of February, and it is just for shaking money. It is 5,000 naira for the whole month. And so also in March, we'll be having, it will be my 16th year wedding anniversary. Wow. So
I and my
Single people don't
husband.
understand.
So I and my husband will be hosting a question and answer session that will be free of charge for youths.
All right, so that's it. You have in February.
Thank you.
Organizing, understanding, managing concerts all
Yes.
Saturdays in February.
All
And of
Saturdays.
course, March
Yes.
for the relationship for the married people, the single people. Sorry, all right, like the people behind this camera. Anyway, we're done here. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been an amazing time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it's a wrap on Music Arena with Akin'Made for today's episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you did learn some lessons. I hope you did hear a lot of new things, and I hope that you would get better and even more exposed and knowledgeable by watching this show. My name remains Akin'Made once again. Please like this video, comment, share, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. God bless you.